Hi boys and girls, this is lesson 611, Angle Measures as Additive, it's called. And I want to tell you, this kind of lesson is one of my favorites. I kind of feel like I can be a little bit of a detective when I'm doing it, so I really kind of like it. So in the lesson, you're going to learn how to add and subtract to find unknown angle measures. When you have that and today's date written in your notebook, you can unpause and come back. Alright, so take a look at this problem and try to solve it. So the problem says the measure of angle APB, so I'm going to find APB is 17 degrees. The measure of angle BPC is 33 degrees. Oops. 33 degrees. Without using a protractor, find the measure of another angle in the diagram. So see what you can do with that. Alright? So, hopefully, you would say that the unknown angle that we could measure would be angle angle APC. Hopefully you saw that, the big angle, right? So we're talking about this whole space. And I hope that you figured out that you could solve it by adding the 33 degrees plus, the 33 degrees plus the 17 degrees. And if you add those together, you're going to get 50 degrees. So angle APC is 50 degrees. All right? So we're going to use the knowledge we have of angle attributes. So what makes an angle a certain kind? What measures would it have? What kind would it be called? And measures of benchmark angles. So benchmarks, the benchmarks we know, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 360 degrees, those are the benchmark angles. And addition and subtraction to find unknown angle measures. So take a look at the one that's in front of you now. So some questions we're going to use to solve that question mark there. What is the measure of angle ABC? Well, hopefully you can see that's a straight line, and a straight angle is 180 degrees. What is the measure of angle DBC? Well, it's labeled for you, so we know that one is 30 degrees. So if we know those two pieces of information, can we figure out angle ABD, this one right here? If I know this whole one is 180 and this part of it is 30, hopefully I would know I need to do 180 minus 30 equals 150 degrees, right? 150 degrees. Because if I do 150 plus 30, I'm going to get 180 degrees. Something you should make sure you know is that when two angles together, their measure is 180 degrees, the angles are called supplementary angles. Make sure you know what that term means. It might come back around. So when the sum of two angles measures 180 degrees, they're called supplementary angles. When you have all that jotted in your notes, come on back. Alright, so how about this one then? What is the measure for angle A? Angle A. Go ahead and try to solve that. Follow the steps that we took last time to help you. And when you think you have it, come on back. So hopefully you said, well, let's see, the straight angle is 180 degrees, and I know I could take away the 110 degrees, and that gives me my unknown, or I could say 110 plus what equals 180 degrees. If I subtract 110 from 180, I'm going to get 70 degrees. Therefore, angle A has to be 70 degrees. Isn't that kind of fun? I like it. All right, let's give you a different one using a different benchmark angle. So how about this? So if you look at this one, let's think about what we already know. We know angle JVE is 50 degrees. We know angle JVK is 90 degrees. And we know that because it looks like a right angle and it's marked. Remember that box in the corner tells you, yes, indeed, it is a right angle. Well, we know right angles are 90 degrees, right? What do we want to know? We want to know angle EVK, right? This is the unknown right now. So the equation we could use for that, 90 minus 50 is going to tell us what this is. Or 50 plus A would equal 90, right? So if I figure that out, if I do that work, I am going to end up with 40 degrees. This is 40 degrees, right? And another term for you, complementary angles. When the sum of two angles measures 90 degrees, we call them complementary. So now you know complementary angles and supplementary angles, right? Make sure you have good notes on these things, and when you do, come on back. Okay, so now it's your turn to try it. You want to figure out what angle A is. What do you know? What do you need to know? How do you solve it? Pause it, figure it out, come back and check it out. So this time it's 25 because we know the big angle, the right angle, is 90. We know part of it is 65. So 90 minus 65 is 25. All right, so we did that same way. Now you're going to get a chance to practice these skills on page 218 in your math journal. That's this page right here. Give it a go. Be detectives. Figure out what are those unknown angles. When you have that all done, come back and check your answers, and we will talk about all of this in the lesson when I see you. Have a great night. And there are those answers.